for the boy child as usual. Today we're going to focus on something nice, something a bit extraordinary in my own view. Focusing on wahenga. Wazee kuna kitu walisema and I was just thinking about it and it's something that touched me, that we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We only borrow it from the next generations. From my understanding, if we do not focus on the boy child at this particular moment, what will our society become in those other generations to come? Will we have responsible men in the future? Will we have a society that does not have vices? Will we have men who can mentor our kids? Will we have responsible men who can take care of their families without killing them when the pressure is too much, or without engaging in drug and substance abuse? So tutafakari hayo as we invite our guests today. Bona Kiremi, karibu sana from Kiremi Foundation. Registered, mind you, registered, please. Let's not forget that it's a registered NGO, the Kiremi Foundation. And we're going to look at different perspectives of Boychild and why do we need to look into this issue here for the Boychild. Do you, as the director of that foundation, do you feel like enyewe huyu kijana anafaa kuangaliwa mambo yake ama ako tu sawa endelee kung'ang'ana vile anang'ang'ana? And maybe the programs that you guys have, I understand you do some programs on HIV and AIDS, you have programs on drugs and substance abuse, some scholarship programs, right? So, and from your foundation, how can we also, in the future to come, how can we also involve this boy child? Can we have maybe mentorship programs? Can we have maybe when these other sponsors, you call them sponsors, right? Once these sponsors come in, when they are doing some scholarships, maybe what percentages do we have for the boys? What percentages do we give the girls? And how can we improve these boys' life? So karibuni sana. Like, subscribe, follow. Every other thing that is good, you can comment. Your comments are welcome. You can ask questions because that is the only way we get to understand if we are sailing in the same boat ama kuna wenye waliingia Titanic wakagonga ile ice na mambo yao iko vile inataka. So welcome everybody. So Bwana Kiremi, tell us a little bit more about your foundation, because I think I've just done a very shallow introduction, and maybe you can mention one or two things that relate to this boy child, because huyu kijana ameumizwa na sisi kama wazazi tunafaa tuangalie hiyo maneno. Yeah, karibu.
Thank you for hosting me. I'm really happy. I'm proud of you, whatever you're doing. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Martin Kiremi. I'm the founder and the CEO of Kiremi's Foundation. Kiremi's Foundation is a registered non-governmental organization, that is the NGO. It was formed with an aim to make our communities better.
Nice.
And as you know, we have our specific objectives, which are really concentrating on the betterment of our community.
So the good thing is, for Kiremi Foundation, they are focusing on making the community, the society, a better place to live in, which marries very well with what we are focusing on, because for us, we are focusing on a brighter society whereby there are no social vices. So I think we have the same goal. The issue is, how do we get to this point? So currently we've been looking at the Boychild and trying to understand mbona anapatikana off guard. Makosa mingi tu ni kijana amefanya, kijana hajafanya, kijana hii. So like maybe you can tell us from your program, from the things you've been doing. Maybe you can mention something or tell us more about maybe drugs and substances, which kama hizo, or maybe something on the HIV, and any you can choose any of the programs you've done or the campaigns you've done in your organization, and maybe bring something to light that will try and explain why the boy child.
Thank you once again. As you have said, actually HIV and drug and substance abuse is among our objectives. That is not just an objective, it's a specific objective that we're concentrating on. As I said earlier, we are concentrating on them because they are the major ones. So we want to mitigate the impact. We know they are raising on a daily basis. HIV ends on the drug and substance abuse. So we have a number of programs to give them. We have seminars, but the funny thing, majority of them from the agriculture. So I don't know why. I think there's a gap. We need to do something.
Ndugu zangu, you've had it from Kilemi. They have done programs, they have done mentorship programs, but the people who show up to these mentorship programs, girl child, which makes it easy to assist the girl child because they are showing up. I understand we have some superiority complex as men. Did I just say we? You guys, you guys have some superiority complex issues. You feel like maybe if we show up to this drug and substance thing, people will feel like sasa tumeanza kuwa inferior. Tukishow up kwa hizi conversation talks about HIV, hiyo ni ufala. Mind you, si ufala, because when that moment comes, uko na stress, uko na pressure, and then maybe you drink, maybe you normally do some puff and pass, some wazakoya therapy, ukiwa na too much pressure in you will get to that point whereby huna budi ila you will just find, or you just realize you're overdoing it. And once you've overdone it, you'll see a very beautiful young lady passing mbele yako hivi kwa macho, na ana mtu wako peke yake tu anapita hivi, figa iko sawa, sura imeweza, pia yeye meza yake amechafua. So definitely you feel like huyu lazima ajue mimi ni nani. But you do not understand hiyo urembo yote inatoka wapi, hujui kama anakunywa hizi makuinini the ARVs. Yeah. So you will not know, you'll just have fun, enjoy yourself, and at the end of the day, boom, you're HIV positive. There is nothing to do about it, imesha kuhit. Ukuenda zile, our girl child wakienda mikutano na hizo forums za kuongeleshwa about HIV na kwamba maybe within their county there is a high rise in this HIV. You as a man and your masculinity, you felt like you're new fella. And without realizing it, unapata wewe sasa ndo uko ndani ya hiyo HIV. Now you are infected, you're not even affected. And then with that same masculinity, you don't want to tell anybody. You make sure umesambazia bibi, umesambazia nani. Society nzima inajipata sasa kila mtu ameanza kwenda hospitali. Sijui wewe unacheza, bibi anacheza, so you can imagine uta-infect watu wangapi within a short period. So please guys, it does not mean by attending these programs or attending these sessions, you become inferior. You only add knowledge to you add some more knowledge, because like we had corona, we had variants. Zilikuwa zinakuja na variants sijui 1, 2, 3 phases. Thank you. Ilikuwa inakuja na phase 1, phase 2 mpaka sijui sasa tuko 5 ama tuko 6. So even HIV I'm sure inakuja na hizo phases. So like si tu maybe wewe ile idea ile vitu uko nayo kwa akili yako ni ya ile face ya kwanza. Unaweza shtuka imefika face yenye if you kiss her you get ukimwi. So like it's not, there's nothing wrong with you going to these sessions, and maybe you'll understand maybe from these sessions that when you have too much pressure, si lazima ukunywe, si lazima ufanye waja kwa therapy ama those are the things you guys tell these people, because definitely pressure yenye tuna receive on a daily basis ndio to drive for drug and substance, right? But I feel like if we mentor these guys in one way or the other, they'll be in a position to understand that when the pressure is too much, you don't have to go that way, right? Yeah, so that's nice. So, Bwana Kirimi, on a scale of 1 to 10, when it comes to scholarships, mnaekanga hawa Boychild wapi?
Actually, the funny thing, we ran a scholarship program like 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I think Boychild scale is better compared to the Boychild. I don't know why. But normally, I think the real Boychild are really ready. And we were doing the other day door to door, looking for people to give the scholarship. But I think the Boychild normally speaks just themselves. And if they approach you again the scholarship, it's very hard for Boychild to approach you, and maybe it was something. They normally you keep quiet, shit happens, they involve themselves maybe drug and substance abuse, and they end up being wasted in the treatment. So I think the age of 1 to 10, I think I'd give Boychild.
Once again, my dear brothers, my dear husband out there, my dad, and my fellow men, me supporting men, I become a man in one way or the other. So you've heard it again from Mr. Kiremi. When it comes to scholarships, on a scale of 1 to 10, ladies are getting these scholarships kwa wingi kuliko the boys. Why? Well, at the end of the day, we should ask ourselves why. These ladies, as Mr. Kiremi has just said, and I quote, wasichana wanakuja wanajiongea, aka wanajituma. They need scholarships, they say anafunguka. When you want to go maybe to university, you're a smart guy out there. You don't have to work so hard in order for you to pay your school fees. At times, it's just right to talk about it, because scholarships out here, watu ni wengi wanafund watu waende mashule wasome. You're a very smart young man out there. Unaogopa, unaanza kuchoma makaa day in day out, day in day out. Hii makaa kitambo itoshe school fees ya kusoma medicine, kusoma law, kufanya engineering, kufanya design, kufanya, what do we call these mass communication and what I'm doing, all these setups zenye tunafanyiwa. In fact, the good thing is background only men. I have men in the background. Sijaona ladies kwa hii industry ya videography and what have very few. Of late I've been working with only men. So you see, you guys have it in you, but do you speak about it? Because if then I think just come to think of it, something has popped up in my mind. If the boy is, or the boy child, let me use the boy child, boy can be a bit. If huyu boy child, huyu kijana, huyu jamaa, ako na masculinity ambayo, the good thing, I'm an African young girl, so I know the African male ego. Naijua vizuri sana. Hataki kuonekana ako weak in any way. What about if platforms are created whereby you don't have to go speak to somebody and seem like you're begging, because mwanaume wa Kiafrika that he can never do eti kuja kubeg na wewe like aki mama yangu family yetu ni mimi breadwinner nataka kwenda college nilipata B+. Ni ngumu mwanaume afanye hivyo. What if we have we think of platforms whereby these guys can communicate? You know, if I just maybe send an email to an organization saying that maybe you've had like Keremi Foundation wakati wako na scholarships, then you send an email to the Keremi Foundation saying that I'm Flani wa Flani, I'm Thomas Kitonga, I would wish to get a scholarship. Una attach maybe your certificate kama ni KCSE ama kama ni degree ama diploma, sasa unataka kupewa scholarship uongeze masomo or something. I think that one will not be hard for men to do.
The funny thing, we posted our scholarship poster last year, but the majority were already applied.
Oh. So even in application, men
actually we did that. So we come on maybe since men are not talking, let maybe try another option. For someone, we put them that you can maybe fill the name, then you fill your name, you fill the grade you had, you fill maybe your stats and whatever. But the funny thing, ladies on the only people, actually majority, maybe wanaume walikuwa maybe walikuwa on the 10 applicants from around.
Wow. My dear brothers, I'm back to you again because I thought that was a solution. It has been tried and it did not work. So I think it's about time you guys out there participate. Let us know. You know, probably you just seated there, you're just watching programs, muna watch organizations zikijaribu kuongea kuhusu Boychild, but after a few days in a fail. I think the organizations don't fail. Sisi kama Boychild sisi kama Boychild ndo tunajifail, because if that idea I had thinking it's a solution haisaidii, then you young men out there, nyinyi ndio mko na solution. Can you like give us a guideline, tuambieni tunaweza fanya aje? You know, you guys know the best way. Wao tu ndio wanaweza tusaidia. If an advertisement of a scholarship inapostiwa, links zinawekwa so that maybe you can feel tick yes, mail in date of birth, you know, and you still guys don't do it. And then at the end of the day, there are these two people, a young man and a young lady. Definitely, tukianza kuchora hii background, mtakaa hivi. This is the young lady and this is you as a man. Tunajaribu kukuvuta juu, tunajaribu kuweka hii kitu because you know at the end of the day there is this transparency and what have you. These things these days zinafuatiliwa sana. I just can't come and then I know some few men nawajaza nyinyi ndio mtapewa scholarship. It's impossible. You guys, you need to show Kiremi and his foundation by filling those forms, making those applications. Because when you are at home, Kiremi will not come and find you at home. Probably even that scholarship is mainly meant for young men, but you guys don't show up. So even the sponsors will end up saying, sawa, give it to the ladies. Because ladies wamejipa opportunities kama you see like 10, and you realize only 2 men will show up ama what. Maybe the whole thing was supposed to be 10 young men, but the ladies will end up having it simply because we are shying away, and kushy away ndo tena in future inakuja kutuletea mashida. Because this lady akiwa hapa, honestly, na wewe uko hapa, how will you date her? She has always been your crush. How will you date this lady? We will always have this gap in the society. And there is no day a lady is supposed to hit on a guy. When that happens, it becomes, I like to call it a taboo. Because sasa nani takuwa mwanaume kwa hiyo relationship? Nani takuwa na kohoa kwa hiyo nyumba kama this lady ndio ana have to hit on you? And why all that? Simply because you did not just send an application to Kirimi Foundation when they had scholarships. Ulisema hiyo ni mama kawachia wasichana, ndio huyo sasa msichana amesoma ako na PhD yako hapa. Wewe na bali tu mama yako alikuachia na diploma, uko tu hapo unangojea. Msichana alijinyakulia nini kwa Kirimi Foundation scholarship amemoka. So like those are the challenges you get in your NGO. What other challenges do you guys have that you feel these men need to pull up their socks on?
On the same, last like 2 years ago, I think that the year we launched our scholarship program, and we sponsored that from Kibota. It's got the C. But after 1 year, we were forced to drop it. He was not performing well. He came from a poor background, but I think alienda kabisa kufuga chuo kabisa, but he was performing well. Form 1, Form 2, finance, na kampani baya, amepewa madem. Madem pia ni support their life, but maybe take another chance, maybe you get. So I think pia ni challenging pia to demotivate pia to sponsor. So we almost kuacha tumetry kwanza and we're just paying the fee from our pockets. We don't have the sponsors. But now you can imagine you're giving out your money, but you're not getting anything. It's not performing well. So I think it's very hard for you to sacrifice your money since you also have the cost.
You guys lack the motivation.
You lack the motivation.
Because that was the sacrifice you made.
Not just a simple sacrifice. You prepare fees, food, maybe when they have a bit of school uniform and whatever, but you are not getting anything in return. So I think it's a challenge to us.
Why? Leo ni ile day. Now I'm feeling like my city is becoming hot. So these young men that we are really trying to get them back on track for society. You try to pull these guys up, wanajiteremsha chini.
Actually, that's a true story.
Wow.
I'm the one going to bank the fees to buy the school uniform, whatever, shopping.
It hurts.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to.
Ulijinyima some leisure, ulijinyima kwenda hike, ulijinyima kwenda sijui road trip. Ndo uone tu mtoto mwerevu amesoma because you don't want it to go to waste. Then boom, ameingia shule. Amejua ujui.
Hata simu, hata mkosi. You can imagine you're paying just from your own pocket. Unapata ashaji sana. So I think pia maboy pia nasema na madeni pia sahihi tunataka pia kufanya kile tunataka pay the fees, done everything, buy the books and whatever, but I think I don't know I think we need to come up with a unique strategy and out of such scenarios, such cases, and at least to minimize the vices. Sasa unajua zimekuwa kwa hata ukiuliza maybe other maybe organizations ama maybe charitable organizations, utapata they have this, we have common challenges, and I think that's the reason, but discourage pia mtu kusaidia. There's people here outside, they have money, they have resources, they can maybe channel their resources to maybe charity to pay for school fees. But unapata kuna vitu zingine zinafanyika zinakudiscourage pia. Okay. So it's hard for you maybe to sacrifice your cash, pay the school fees, to do the other logistics.
Did you guys try maybe therapy to understand why this young man was doing all this?
Yeah, actually, we gave him it was the first warning, the second warning. He's not improving.
He's not even rubbing it to your face.
I think the best option was maybe to drop him and get another person who is really ready.
Who is at least giving you output, you know, you just can't put input.
And we gave her that actually.
And how did the lady perform?
She's doing well. She's doing well.
Not disappointing you guys. Watu wangu. Kumbe ndo maana hata scholarships hatupati, tukipata tunaharibu. Hey, iko sida. There's a problem here. So, of course, hatukosangi one spoiler, but let's hope that that is not what will make the boy child to miss opportunities in scholarship simply because one young man out there decided to fail. Because I'm sure there's so many of them out there who need scholarships. But now if one person does this by not giving you nice output, I'm sure it does not mean now every young man out there is the same. So let that not stop any man out there or any young man out there who wants to kuongeza masomo in these scholarship programs. I feel ni kama si walisema maboi tunachoma. No, huyo mmoja ndio walichoma. Si maboi wote walichoma, ni huyo mmoja. So please, let's not change our minds on doing the applications. There is something that Boychild you have mentioned, and I think it also needs to be addressed. You've said that hata girl child anaharibia kijana maisha.
Sana.
Here people, sisi tunadhani kila wakati eti kijana ndo wazazi. Parents always tell us. Na ukienda shule, uchungane na vijana. Atakuweka mimba, wewe uta drop out of school, yeye ataendelea kusoma. That is what parents always tell us, right? But now Bwana Kiremi has just confirmed something good. Hata nyinyi wasichana mnaharibia vijana maisha. Because wewe unajua hata ukifail utaolewa na bazu. Uko na option ya kutafuta mtu ako na pesa. What about this young man? Atatafuta nani ako na pesa?
Mama.
Someone just said mama, which is so true. And now that is directly hata wewe girl child unaharibia boy child maisha. Do we as a society, do we look at it na hiyo angle that msichana pia anaweza haribia kijana maisha? Kwa sababu kijana na ameanza kupenda msichana anamchanganya totally. I think parents also, we need to change some strategy to get advise wasichana wakienda shule. Hata wewe, as much as I have told you, ukienda uachane na mambo ya vijana utawekwa mimba, hata wewe usiende kuwachanganya.
I think that's a negative parental attitude.
So, like, how do you now tell this lady not to changanya this young man so that even this, because definitely this young man also needs to focus. Because sasa wewe that lady mwenye amebebea huyu jamaa akili mpaka huyu jamaa anaanza kufanya vitu ambazo hafai kufanya. How now will you advise this young man or this young lady not to waste his boy child?
As I've said, I think that's a negative parental attitude. Pia tunafaa tujue pia at the end of the day, the same girl you're maybe advising ataolewa na kijana.
Definitely, yeah.
Atajioa. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
So I think pia we need to empower boys, specifically the boy child, and appreciate them. I think the major reason that the boys pia unapata pia wamechingiza pia kwa drugs, they are not appreciated. They don't have a voice in this set. Tumeconcentrate sana our energy to the girl child. I think pia we have not shift to the boy child. To pia the whole energy imeenda kwa boy child.
To shift ama to balance.
To balance pia. Hata to shift pia tukakae kwa kidogo. I think pia
hata wao wana need some affection.
True. Juu unapata okay ndio na responsible man. You're there for trainings, nini. But kupata msichana wako na usi avoid vijana watakaribia maisha. I think tunafaa pia to balance, tujue pia it's a mutual, wanahitajiana. Huyu anahitaji mwingine, kuna vitu msichana asifanye bila kijana. I think pia inafaa tunakuwa
that makes a lot of sense, because once this young man also feel the warmth as in tuache kufocus sana pande hii, tumpatie pia yeye some attention, because one, he is human. Two, he has psychological, emotional and physical attachments to the society. If he is not embraced, then ata feel kwani hata nikikunywa bangi, who cares? And in real sense we don't. So he will kunywa bangi, he'll vuta bangi, and we'll all be pointing at him from top and telling our ladies, unaona kijana wanani? And maybe the only thing that kijana wanani needed was to be empowered in one way or the other. But because there are no platforms for the empowerment of this young man, after all, she makes sense for a society. So mbona anajiwaste? I think now you've brought out that attitude in a very nice way. Watu wangu, are we together? I am hoping that I'm not kizungu imeisha. Siwabo. Yes, yeah. I'm not doing the boredom thing, because Bwana Keremi here is bringing out some very nice issues about this young man. He's bringing out the humanity in a man. As much, I believe what you're trying to say is, as much as he is masculine, as much as he has superiority complex issues, as much as he's an African man with an ego. An ego that hataki kuona hiyo pride yake imeenda chini. But these young men ama these men out there still deserve to feel appreciated, supported, loved, and to feel like they make sense. Yeah, to feel that someone out there cares for them. Not because it's their role to always care for you, to always protect you, to always make sure that everything is in order. They also need someone to look at them with the same eye. They also need protection from some things. They also need that tender. Hata wao wanataka kubembelezwa. I think that is simply what we are trying to say here. Because they are human. They have emotions like we do. They have physical vitu zina affect hata wao physically. They also have psychological torture, and that is where mental health comes in. Of course, yes, he's a man, an African man with the ego and who doesn't want his bride to go in the chimney. But at the end of the day, he also wants us as the society tumshike mkono, azinazo sisi ndio tutampea hiyo nguvu, si ndio? Sisi ndo tutampea ile sauti ya kutu represent, ya kutu protect as the society, kutuchunga, ku make sure serikali inafanya kazi yake kwa hiyo kitongoji ama hiyo mtaa, because tumempatia voice, tumempea energy, tumempea support yetu, tumemwaminia. I think those are simply the things that this young man is missing. And these must be the things that zinamlead down the drain. Wow. Told you guys, leo mambo ni special. Now you mnaelewa mbona nilisema mambo leo ni special. So, Bwana Kirimi, some closing remarks. Like, what can you say about all what is happening around this young man?
I think that the Boychild, we need to give them a room, at least to feel is a NMC community here, and we also need to embrace them and to give them a room also wasikike pia, not just that watapore wacha pia wakuwe pia, to give them those platforms pia wasikie pia watu wa maana pia community. Na pia I think tukiwa na platform kama hizi Boychild, I think we need to embrace such platforms and such things. Juu ni vitu pia zitasaidia pia zitaboost pia morali ya wasee pia kama vijana. Ukipata kwa mtaa pia vijana there wana consume these drugs, hawana msa kuongelesha. I need tunafaa to this high time pia we have a gap, and I think we need to fill the gap kwa vijana pia, to educate them, to give those platforms, guidance and counseling. At least pia I think that shall maybe minimize these messes that tunaongea zenye gava pia wanaongea on a daily basis. HIV, drugs, wizi imekuwa mingi. I think pia when we empower our Boychild, we are going to minimize them, and the same we are going to mitigate those voices complete.
Definitely you guys have social media platforms, like where can we get more information on Kirimi Foundation? You have these pages and what have you?
We are in all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Kirimi Foundation.
Kirimi Foundation. So if I go to Facebook, Kirimi Foundation, we'll get Kirimi Foundation. We go to Instagram, we go to, what else do we have? Facebook, Instagram. What else do you have with the social media? Yeah, you just go to social media, anywhere, you just post, you just enter Kirimi Foundation and you'll get these guys. We appreciate your time here with us, and for making time to be with us, for making time to be able to address some few issues and some of the challenges you guys as a foundation have, and how best we can tackle that to be able to change the Boychild's life. Tunashukuru sana Bwana Kirimi, tunakaribisha tena. We will have this session again. There's something you've mentioned and we can't talk about it today because I'm sure if we continue having this dialogue, we can talk the whole day. You know, with every comment you make, I realize that something kuna kitu una mention and I'm like, oh, that needs to be addressed also. But now if we do everything today, we'll never get to see you here again. We need you back here. At least let's save that one. So as James Baldwin said, you can never deny the humanity of another without diminishing one's own. So when we deny this Boychild his humanity, remember, You cannot do that without diminishing your own. Thank you. Bye bye.